More than 4,000 people laid off from PKP Cargo is unfortunately not the only alarming news. If we add to the various cuts of the Central Transportation Port, meaning the exclusion of Polish rolling stock manufacturers from the project, and add to that layoffs in other companies, not only state-owned but also private, and top it off with the cancellation of other investments in Poland, then the question arises as to how much will the Polish economy lose in reality. Today, I took a closer look at the situation. A lot of people will be left without jobs. Entire families will be affected after 40 years of work for PKP. Every worker who will be laid off has a family or other obligations. This will be a major tragedy for every family. It is terrible what they are doing. They sent the whole plant to 60% non-service, and then they are supposed to do a group layoff in September. PKP Cargo management will lay off up to 30% of the company's workforce, or more than 4,000 employees. Unfortunately, there is more bad news for the industry. The only element that is being implemented in the company at the moment is layoffs. Unfortunately, this could be very negative for the future of the company, and we know that the company should carry out transport at least next year, when there are huge infrastructure investments planned for the Central Transportation Port, etc. Who will transport it? Investments are planned, but not as expected. What's left of it is the so-called Y line, connecting Poznań, Wrocław, Łódź, and Warsaw. Yet Minister Malepszak announced an increase in speed to 320 kilometers per hour, which results on the side of benefits that a resident of Wrocław or Poznań may reach Warsaw about 10 to 15 minutes faster, but at the expense of the fact that such a train certainly can no longer stop somewhere in Kalisz or Sieradz on the way. On top of that, this is a solution to the massive detriment of Polish companies. If we accelerate the trains to 320 kilometers per hour, then Polish manufacturers for whom the challenge was to create rolling stock for 250 kilometers per hour will not be able to prepare a bid so that the rolling stock that will be bought to run on Polish tracks will meet the expectations of the carriers. It should not be forgotten that the various cuts to the Central Transportation Port project are real losses for the Polish economy. Without the Central Transportation Port, we may lose 50 to 70 million zloty of gross added value per year. This is the analysis of one of the most reputable companies in the world. Mr. Donald, what are you waiting for? Time is running out, and with it, money. According to forecasts by the International Air Transport Association, the Central Transportation Port could fairly quickly gain 20% of the market share in our part of Europe. The competition is not sleeping. A large air hub will most likely be built in Hungary. Prime Minister Orban is already in agreement with Vinci, the company that was supposed to be the strategic investor of the Polish Central Transportation Port. Now, because of the government's sluggishness, we are also losing the chance to be a leader in the nuclear sector. If the Poles don't decide what they want to do in the nuclear sector, it will be done by others, the Czechs or other countries in the region, who also want to build reactors on a massive scale. And so far, we have been in the forefront. The Korean investor who was supposed to build a nuclear power plant in Poland has already chosen, unfortunately, the Czech Republic.